Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to get PyTorch installed correctly on your computer, matched exactly to your system, so you're ready to start writing real deep learning code. Throughout this series, we'll be working inside a dedicated Python environment, and Jupyter Notebook is the tool we'll use to write and run our code. With that environment up and ready, let's install PyTorch and add the supporting libraries this series needs, and confirm everything actually works. Most important thing to note that there is no single install command for PyTorch that works for everyone. The correct command depends on your operating system, your Python version, whether you use Conda or pip, and most importantly, whether your computer has an NVIDIA GPU, an AMD GPU, or no dedicated GPU at all. So we are going to use PyTorch's own official configurator to decide which particular version to install. So first, go to this exact page. It's linked in the description. This page always reflects the current, correct PyTorch build, so it never goes stale the way a written-down command does. First choice, PyTorch build. Choose stable, the fully tested production release. Only pick preview/nightly if you specifically need a bleeding-edge feature that isn't officially released yet. We won't need that in this course. Next, choose your operating system, Windows, Linux, or Mac, matching your actual machine. For package, choose pip. For language, choose Python. Compute platform is the one that trips people up. If your computer has an NVIDIA graphics card, you'll choose the CUDA version matching your installed driver. If you don't have an NVIDIA GPU, or you're on a Mac, or you just want the simplest option to start learning on, choose CPU. Everything in this course works on CPU, just a little slower. You can always switch to a GPU build later. If you're not sure whether you have a usable NVIDIA GPU, run this command in your terminal. If you have one, you'll see a table with your GPU model and a CUDA version number in the top right. That's the maximum CUDA version your driver supports. Pick a CUDA option on the selector at or below that number. If you get an error saying the command isn't recognized, you don't have an NVIDIA GPU set up, select CPU and move on. Mac users on Apple Silicon, M1 through M4, don't use CUDA at all. Always select CPU on the selector. PyTorch automatically uses Apple's Metal acceleration in the background when it's available, no extra choice needed. Now click your compute platform choice, CPU, or the matching CUDA version. The moment you do, PyTorch generates the exact install command in the box at the bottom of the page. Copy that command exactly, don't retype it by hand, copy-paste it, so there's no typo. I'm showing you an example on screen so you know roughly what to expect, but use the command the website generates for you, not the one you see right now. Your OS, GPU, and the current PyTorch version may all be different from mine. Make sure you are installing this inside a Conda environment. This can take a few minutes, especially GPU versions, which download a large file. Let it finish completely. PyTorch alone gives us tensors and neural network building blocks, but throughout this course, we'll also need a handful of supporting libraries. Let's install them now, and I'll explain exactly what each one does. Run this single command to install everything at once. JupyterLab, the classic notebook interface, the Jupyter kernel tool, Matplotlib, Pandas, scikit-learn, tqdm, and TensorBoard. Jupyter Notebook gives us an interactive, browser-based document where we write and run small chunks of code called cells, one at a time, and immediately see the output right underneath. It's exactly the tool we'll use for the rest of this course. Matplotlib is our plotting library. We'll use it to draw graphs like training loss curves and to visualize images and tensors. Pandas lets us load, inspect, and manipulate tabular data, spreadsheets, and CSV files, which is how a lot of real-world datasets arrive. Scikit-learn gives us classic machine learning utilities, like splitting data into training and test sets and calculating accuracy metrics that pair nicely with PyTorch even though it isn't a deep learning library itself. tqdm draws a clean progress bar in the notebook or terminal so we can see how far along a training loop is, instead of staring at a blank screen wondering if it's frozen. TensorBoard is a visual dashboard, originally built for TensorFlow but fully supported by PyTorch. That lets us track and compare metrics like loss and accuracy across training runs in a browser-based interface. One more setup step before we launch Jupyter. A kernel is what Jupyter calls the Python environment a notebook actually runs on. If we don't register our PyTorch course environment as a named kernel, Jupyter might default to the wrong Python, and your notebook won't find PyTorch even though it's installed. Let's register it now, explicitly, so it always shows up clearly in the kernel list. Run this command. It registers our environment as a kernel named PyTorch course, and it will show up in Jupyter's kernel list with the friendly display name Python, PyTorch course. Let's give ourselves one clean folder to keep everything for this course. In your terminal, run these two commands to create and move into a new folder called PyTorch course. Before we test anything, let's save a record of exactly what we installed. This command asks pip to list every package in this environment with its exact version and save that list into a file called requirements.txt. If your environment ever breaks or you set up a new computer, you can rebuild the exact same setup with one line instead of repeating everything by hand. Before we launch Jupyter, glance at your terminal prompt one more time and confirm it says PyTorch course. If it doesn't, activate it now. Now, still inside our PyTorch course folder with the environment activated, run this command to launch Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter opens automatically in your default browser, showing a file browser pointed at our PyTorch course folder. This page lists every file and notebook in this folder. Right now, just our requirements.txt file. Click the new button in the top right corner, and from the drop-down, select Python PyTorch course, the exact kernel name we registered earlier. This creates a brand new notebook running inside our isolated environment. Click on the title at the top of the page. It currently says Untitled, and rename it to Test Setup, then press Enter. In the first cell, type Import Torch. This loads the PyTorch library. To run a cell, press Shift and Enter together. If this fails with a red error saying Module Not Found error, no module named Torch, it almost always means the wrong kernel is selected. We'll fix that in the troubleshooting section coming up. In a new cell, print Torch version, a built-in variable showing the exact PyTorch version installed. This matters anytime you're following documentation or asking for help. The first thing anyone asks is what version are you on. Next cell, create a tiny random tensor, a 3x3 grid of random numbers using torch. Rand. A tensor is PyTorch's basic building block for data, similar to a NumPy array. If PyTorch can create and print this, the core library is fully functional, not just importable. Next cell checks whether PyTorch can see a usable NVIDIA GPU, returning true or false. Everything in this course runs correctly on CPU, just somewhat slower for larger models later on. Last cell, if a GPU is available, print its exact model name using torch. CUDA. Get device name, passing in 0 for the first GPU on the system. If not, we print a friendly message confirming we're on CPU. This is exactly how, later in the course, we'll decide where to place our tensors and models. The task before the next video is make sure in your test setup notebook, all 5 cells have run without errors. Kernel name visible, version printed, tensor printed, CUDA line printed, device line printed. In the next video, we will learn about PyTorch tensors, operations, and the fundamentals everything else in this series builds on. See you there.